Good evening and welcome to Skits and Quibbles. It's that arts and wellbeing show where it's always open mic night. I'm Precocious Lotus, also known as Dr. Audrey Tang if you watch our sister show Mental Health Matters. And as always, we have a fabulous lineup for you. Today I'm meeting John Donaghue from the Good Times Project, and they do a lot of events, and it's in particular their silent disco is one of the highlights of the fundraising calendar and the community calendar, because a silent disco is an opportunity to really enjoy the power of music but not have anyone else know what you're listening to or why you're listening to it, or if you're just simply on silent. So we're going to learn all about that. But before that, please join me on the main stage. Today I thought I'd go into something a little bit different. We're going to talk about choreography. So we've learned a lot of things like posing and how to walk and how to move around and how to work on chairs when it comes to burlesque. So I just thought we'd talk a little bit about rhythm and beats. A simple way to start choreography is just using the 4-beat. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can use this in a number of different ways, and you can dress it up a little bit. So if you want, and to keep that just 1, 2, very firm, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can have movements such as up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. That works. Or you can clap on the off beat, so it's sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, that might change what you do. So you can have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It feels different. It gives a slightly bouncier feel. The other one's quite strong and quite firm. Or you could even do something where you clap on the last beat, sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and so on. And that one you could do with a little march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Have a play with that 4-beat count, and we'll play with a different beat next time. Now, are you warmed up and ready? Because we are going to go straight over to the Good Times Project Silent Disco.
Good Times Project is our passion project. So we've already got an events business, and what we wanted to do is the silent discos were evoking a lot of good feeling in different, like the Send community, and also when we were doing care homes, you could tell that like the memories it was bringing back. We thought we're onto something. What we could do is if we could take the hires out of the original place they were, put them into a social enterprise, we can use the funds we already have from our hires and subsidise sessions for them to make sure that people can make it more affordable for the different groups that we're working with, and then just to keep kind of spread the joy throughout. Yeah.
I love that. That's fantastic. Why is it so important to have that manageability of sound, of music that the silent disco allows you to have?
Okay, so the great thing about your silent disco is that you can change the channels, so you've got full autonomy on the channels. You have the 3 channels that you can choose. You've got your volume control. You can turn it off if you want, so you could just wear them in your ears and not hear anything. It'd just be a bit of silence, wear them around your neck. The autonomy and then the fact that you can have that choice means that it's suitable for a whole range of people, and people are going to find the station they want to tune into, and you know there's more chance of people getting something out of it and getting a nice result in terms of the wellness factor.
Yeah, no, I like that, because I hadn't realised that you had different channels actually.
Yeah.
I thought it was a way of being able to control the volume and that sort of thing, but to be able to choose your music as well, yes, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, so that's what the great thing is, especially what we've got today with our family silent disco. You have a party channel, so everyone can have fun. They can sing along to Disney, they can do the Macarena. Then you've got your retro channel, which is the kind of biggest hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, noughties that the parents are going to really enjoy, and the kids have heard it in the car. chart hits from the last 10 years as well. So you then have that accessibility, or that kind of, it attracts the older kid that would be there. So you kind of your teenager that's coming up that might think it's not too cool to do anything with their family, but actually they've got their silent disco going, they're more likely to come along. So that so we've got that a choice for everyone, and we transcend all the age ranges.
Yeah, you've hit on something there, because there is that thing about it not feeling cool. I like this type of music, but you don't like it, therefore I feel awkward. Yeah. With this, no one knows what you're listening to.
All they can see is you're dancing and enjoying it. So you can have 3 people on each have different channels that they're on, but they're all loving it. They're all loving whatever they're listening to. They're all dancing together, so they just are kind of bouncing off each other. One of the biggest things for us, because we do the events at the Picturedrome with adults and the family ones, is the fact that we knew that we have at our adult events, we would have an 18-year-old dancing and a 70-year-old dancing in the same room. I mean, for us now, for us, we have on New Year's Eve or any of the events, we've managed to make it so inclusive and so welcoming that we do have 18-year-olds and mid to late 70s there as well. So the age range is fantastic for us. It makes us feel great that that we can bring people together, because it's unheard of in terms of, especially on a Saturday night.
Yes.
We have that ethos all the way through. So hence why when we were doing our mental health wellbeing week in May, we were able to do from ages 2 to 93. Amazing. So it was really, really good. Oh, yeah.
That's brilliant. And you not only do this at functions and events, you also hire out the silent disco?
So that's the model. So the model is the revenue generated from private hires goes towards us being able to subsidise the session. So the events that we do all come into that pot, so to speak. But also the hires, if we get corporate wellness packages that we offer as well, and then sometimes we'll have groups that will have funding for sessions, and actually what they'll do is we'll pay our normal amount, because we know that if we've got the funding for it, we can then help. So when we haven't got the funding, we can come to you and we'll be able to give you a subsidised package. So in terms of for us to be able to keep doing what we're doing, it is about getting that message out, and being able to do family sessions like this only kind of makes our net grow, and we can have more and more people coming to hire and then supporting, so you can have fun and also do something good.
That was such a peaceful afternoon. It was really lovely to be out in nature, walking around, taking my own time, listening to whatever music I choose. And that's really nice, because it's not the same as having to create a playlist that you have to run along to, which has to be a certain beat and so on. It's different to having to choreograph things. It really is a great way of getting more music into your day, getting the freedom of having really comfortable headphones and the control over volume, the control over what you're listening to, or listening to nothing at all, while still being out with people and being around people. I definitely recommend the silent disco for connectivity, for a bit of music therapy, and just overall a really good time.
John, welcome to Skits and Quibbles.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's great to have you here. We've just seen how brilliant the silent disco is. It's so much fun. It was in Delaprey Abbey in Northampton, and everyone was having such a good time. And you couldn't hear anything. It was just a strange experience in a way.
Serene, everyone's partying away, and you've got this lovely serene surroundings. People walking around, wondering why are they dancing to this? And it's brilliant. It's a brilliant concept. Yeah,
I love it. So please tell me about how the Good Times project started.
So we have. I've been a DJ for 25 years probably. I love music, but I wasn't very good with instruments, so I knew I wanted to get into something in that respect. So I was probably kind of a indie DJ, indie clubs, started set up my own nights in Northampton. Kind of got a chance to be with other places, but I ended up going to a festival and seeing a club night called Guilty Pleasures, which is in the Coco in Camden, and I just was like, pop music, it's amazing. Like I've always been I've never been too narrow-minded, so I thought, right, okay, so I started playing kind of that kind of so bad it's good music.
Yes,
and it worked, and I was kind of doing it in nice clubs within Northampton, and then I got to the point where about 10 years ago, well, it's 10 years ago this month, decided that actually I wanted to do a 90s night at the Picture Dome in Northampton, and I ended up selling the first one out, and they just kind of snowballed, and we started doing silent discos about 8 years ago. The popularity then meant that we were we started to hire out, because people were like, well, I want to do it for a party and this. So, okay, we'll do it. When COVID hit, events just went down the drain for us for about 18 months, and we thought, okay, well, silent disco can still happen at home, and we tailored it. We did village-wide silent discos where every families had headphones, and we had the transmitters in the middle of the village, and it transmitted out to all the families in their gardens. So we had we did one in our village, which was about 40 families, so probably about 120 people that were all around the village having an early evening of fun in kind of April, May.
I love that, because there is something about when you watch something together on YouTube, even if you're in different places, you know, when you have that premiere, it's the idea that you're doing it with somebody else, even if you're not with them, and I think that's so lovely. So
everyone had that, and then that's where we realised that through the hires were coming in, and it was coming in with schools, and they were saying, okay, there's a party here, and actually we have some higher needs pupils that are getting involved when you're doing a silent disco. Right. It was really good. So can we? And what we thought, well, when events started coming back, we thought, well, actually, this could be something that we could do for good. So the Good Times project came around because we thought we wanted to do it based on a social enterprise model. Yeah. So because we've got the event side of it, that's fine. That's kind of always going to be there in some way, shape or form. We thought, but the silent disco stuff can really start to help people. So that model kind of came about 18 months ago, I think. But because we had the popularity of the events we're already doing and the trust, all we did was just said, look, this is the model now, which only helped to encourage people to support it.
I think that's so lovely. I mean, that brings me on to my next question, actually. Why is it that silent disco is so popular? Why did that one take off?
Right, okay, so with a silent disco, I think it's not for everyone. To begin with, because it's the concept. I think it's the concept. So why listen to headphones? But there's so many different facets to it. It's like being in a club with 3 rooms. Yes. Because you can pick, you could do that. But at the same time, I always say to teachers when they're saying about it versus a disco, look at the amount of people here. 20% are on red channel, 20% are on blue channel. 60% are on the green channel. I said this shows that a traditional disco isn't for everyone. Yeah. It means you've got that choice from a point of autonomy. You can change the volume as well as your channels there. I think the immersiveness of having the headphones on, actually, once people are enjoying it, they think less about singing and dancing, and they just move with the moment, and because the music isn't coming from speakers and is in there, it's so close. It's like being at home anyway, just listening to music, that people just do become immersed in it, and not just for events, but then the activity sessions we're doing in Send and with the elderly. You just seem that people have that kind of recognition of maybe a good time that they've had in the past. And, so I feel like it's something that is open to more people, and the autonomy of it really does help.
Oh, no, absolutely. And you mentioned a few of the people that you support, like schools and SEND and people in seniors as well. Yeah. every age group can benefit, can't they?
Because I remember when you came along, and we were saying on the previous interview that the Mental Health Awareness Week in May, we had like 2 to 3 year olds. Actually, she was just under 2, had the headphones on, and that was at Delapre in May, and then within that week as well, we had a 93-year-old in there. So you got kind of 2 to 93.
Yeah.
Had 95-year-olds do it. It's that power of music, because there's no kind of restriction on what we can feed into the transmitters to kind of go out there. We can tailor things for the different groups that we have, and it can hit. I suppose it's a bit. You could have the equipment, no idea, so to speak, but because of our experience, and mine and other people that work with me, experience of curating the music, we always make sure it hits the spot with the people.
Yes, that is where your DJing comes in. I love that. And so where can we go about hiring the silent disco?
Okay, so we offer hires in the counties around. So we're based in we're in Towcester, Northamptonshire. So we're very on the A5. Brings us up and down Buckinghamshire, Bedfordshire, Warwickshire. So all you need to do is go to thegoodtimesproject.co.uk/hire, and we have options. We can have our dry hire, so you can have 10 headphones, you can have 100, 200 headphones, and the and playlisted iPods, transmitters, so you can have a party without a DJ.
Right.
You can have a DJ-led party, or we can put an event on for you. So we've got all the different options that people can have. And then also, if you're for community groups, then the hires there will then subsidise the price. So we just ask community groups to come and speak to us, and we've got prices for them to make sure that it's more accessible.
Oh, absolutely amazing. Well, we're going to see the silent disco in action again.
Greetings, I'm Angel Marie Monticelli, host of Energize You TV, every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Go to Fresh Takes right here on E360 and get Reikified and energized today.
Welcome back to Skits and Quibbles. So, John, what benefits have you noticed in particular when it comes to special populations, such as those with Alzheimer's, when it comes to music in general, or perhaps even the silent disco?
Well, I was saying that you had on one of your other shows the lovely Fern from Affinity.
Yes, the Mental Health Matters, to have a look.
I got in touch with Fern, and in January we held our first session. Open session, because we've done hires in care homes over lockdown, but ones that we could actually be at and curate.
Yes.
Because we do kind of like with sessions, we like to be there to make sure the journey's right, and it hits the spot in the right way. Well, we had non-verbals that were singing. We had people that don't move, not moving so much, that were tapping or clapping, and people were standing up and they were dancing and they were singing. Just that memory and that kind of that just taking them back somewhere. I love it, because we have the range of music that I can put on your 50s sweetheart music that we kind of have, and then you work through to Motown, and then you might throw a little bit of disco in there, because the age ranges are, it's not just a 90-year-old that's going to be in that group. Sometimes you're having people in their 50s that are in the group as well. So there is a range there. So the music we try and do, I try and have really recognisable, and it's the staff that are working with them dance with them, and
brilliant.
And sometimes you'll get a few that'll be cheeky and come over to me and go, "Come on, give me a dance." We're dancing away, but I've got a real affinity with the elderly. My nan, she's in a home at the moment, but she was she's 94, 95. Mm-hmm. She had a lot of time with her when I was younger, and also I ran the London Marathon for Age UK a few years ago. It's been a while, but I've always kind of wanted to do things to help others.
Yeah.
I've got a family of in nursing and occupational therapy and such, and this has kind of been a roundabout way of me being able to do something good in that way, and working with the groups and care homes. We've got a few care homes now that we've done a few sessions with, and it's like a touch paper there, all the different care homes like, well, I'd like that now, I'd like that, and the videos we're putting out, people are seeing them, and they're like, you the ones that do the silent disco on videos, and Katie puts together quite a lot of content, and we do visual content that we have. We're talking about
which
here,
which is nice to have the visual.
People do just want to quickly go, and it makes them smile. And then we're able to, because it's getting out there, we're able to do more.
It's really joyful, and you have touched on the importance of music as triggering memories. So I'm going to throw a cheeky little curveball at you. Which songs trigger memories for you?
Well, I was born in '80, and I've got to say I love like Wham and I remember running around knee sliding at weddings and kind of and then having even like it was like Black Lace kind of things. I don't play them that much, but having Come On Eileen and then also 90s music. When I kind of my growing up time, like Oasis and and kind of and dance music. My mum and dad, funnily enough, weren't massively into music, which I feel now has probably been a benefit, because I'm not. There's no snobbery in terms of what's good.
Shoehorned into
I wasn't
something.
Shoehorned. I wasn't pigeonholed into listening to certain music. So for me, as long as it's got good melody and it's got good beat, it's always worked well. I'd say probably the 80s and 90s. 80s pop, 90s kind of dance stroke indie, when I kind of got to 15, 16 and started to, we might be going out. And we can, they're the ones. Going back into Motown as well, I love.
I think, and you're kind of leading me on really nicely to the next question about music being so personal to us, and how does that help us express ourselves? When we are listening to something that really gets to us, how it's very freeing. What have you seen in the work that you do?
Well, there's been ABBA seems to have a power on people, I think, sometimes, where you just get them. They like you put Dancing Queen on, and I think people just come alive, and at a certain age, and there has been times in some of the homes that we've worked with where I remember there was a lady that just stood up, and she just smiled, and they all stood round her because she was younger to a certain, probably around younger in the group. And she started smiling, and she just stood up, and she stood up and obviously unconsciously stood up and looked around, and she was just smiling. And the song finished, and she kind of was like, she didn't realise that it just made her stand up, but that was another person that didn't respond or
Yes.
hadn't responded in
Yes.
certain ways. But I feel like, you know, when you hear a song, you don't know why you like it, but
Yeah.
it makes you smile. It gives you a fuzzy feeling.
Yes.
I feel like because of my not being pigeonholed, I don't mind what I place and what I play.
Yeah.
And that's always probably had a benefit in terms of just I do go through the genres and
Yeah.
pick songs that have always been strong sing-along songs. People will come up and teachers within schools love how we'll do a chart channel. We'll do a kids party channel, depending on the key stage age that they are. We've got them tailored. Then we have our retro channel, which is 80s, 90s, noughties. We call it retro, and it's like some of the teachers are like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I know. And it is, you know, noughties is 20 years ago now. So we've got that, but the teachers love it. They love to be part of it as well. So I think the way that that kind of transcends in the family of silent disco. So everyone gets involved. Everyone has their kind of moment from it because of it. And I think, you know, everyone comes out with that kind of glow. Mainly the kids come out of it. There's never never a school silent disco that you haven't got at least one or two kids saying it's the best school day they've ever had. And that for us, that's like. It's a spot.
That's fabulous. But actually relating to that, and on quite a serious note, what you do have is the possibility to switch it off. And so for someone with a diagnosis of autism, say, that can be quite important to them, can't it? Just to be able to switch off any too much stimulation.
Yeah, and I think it's great to have that option to not listen, but be around your peers that are enjoying themselves.
Yes.
Because your traditional disco can be an attack on the senses.
Yes.
You know, with the noise and then have the singing with involved that and lots of dancing. I find that having headphones on, you do find that people enjoy it, but they can be calmer as well because they're just immersed, or like you say, headphones on, or they've taken them off and they're sat there, but it's not too loud within the space.
Yes.
We do say that silent disco is the least silent disco you're ever going to have because there are people singing. However, they do have that option.
It's not the same as having
not overwhelming.
The music. Yes, exactly. And I think that's really nice. And you absolutely made the point there when you said that person could be with their friends, having switched off the headphones, and no one's thinking that they look different or they're out of place. I think that's amazing. And we're going to have a look at one of those discos.
A world without the arts is one without confidence, creativity and community, and yet funding has been reduced every year. Arts programmes have been shown to benefit social inclusion and well-being, particularly for marginalised groups, with projects fostering a sense of belonging, cultivating mutual understanding and breaking down social barriers and isolation. Participation in arts programmes can help boost confidence and open doors to opportunities that may otherwise be inaccessible. Click Arts Foundation offers grants up to £2,000 for grassroots arts projects twice a year, with our community arts experience trustees meticulously scoring each project on impact and sustainability. To date, we have supported craft and visual arts projects, dance, drumming for well-being, and preservation of heritage and culture. If you share our passion, not just for maintaining the arts themselves, but contributing to the many benefits it can bring, please consider making a donation to Click Arts Foundation registered charity.
Welcome back to Skits and Quibbles. Now, John, you started as an events company, and you are an events company.
Yes.
What is that process of sort of founding an events company? Because I know a lot of people think, right, I like a bit of cabaret, so I'm going to run my own event. It's not as easy as that, is it?
No, it's quite funny. So I think when I went to uni, I didn't really know what to do, and I did business and marketing, and I was like, I suppose I've managed to use it eventually, you know, after like 10 years after kind of I did it, I different jobs, and I was prior to going full time into events, I was a employability trainer for people that are, you know, unemployed over a year, or might need confidence building and such as well. It's really helped me in terms of working with people as well. So I managed to use that part of it. I suppose I've got a knack of maybe my ideas have always been quite good in terms of having a rounded idea, hence why we've kind of got bombastic 90s, footloose 80s, get ready, 60s, 70s Motown, hey ya, noughties, silent discos, disco 2000, daytime discos. There's a lot of different options, but I've made sure that I didn't flood what I was doing. They've come over the years. Now we've got a rounded package of what we do. But I suppose there must be a knack in somewhere in there that I don't think about what I like, I think about what the customer might like, and get that commercial feel to it.
I think that's really important, because that sort of leads me on to the next question. What's that personality trait almost? What is it about you that makes you so good for running events? Because I do see a lot of people who think even just one little event, oh, I can organise it, and they absolutely can't. They like going to the event, but you know, can't even remember to invite people.
No, I think once it is. I learned from the DJ side of it is, and like being a man. It's you know, I feel I could say it's about making sure that ladies are enjoying themselves, and that's the first layer that you want on that, and you want to appeal to the female audience. I've got 80% females of my within my customer base for events, and I feel that it's very safe in the environments we've got, and it means for me in terms of my trait, I'm quite self-critical internally, so I'm always thinking, how can I do things better, never resting on an event, even though there's never been anyone that in the area that's ever, I mean, we've had over 200 sellout events in 10 years. No one's ever had that kind of prolific. But you know, I don't think of it as that. People also don't know that it's me, because I sit behind the brands. So people know I've been bombastic, but they don't know it's necessarily me. Whereas other people are DJs, they go DJ such and such, but if DJ such and such can't be there, people wouldn't go. So it was more kind of creating the brands that people trust.
I love that.
Yeah, and then just making sure that everything's, you always, you know, take, if someone does say, not criticism, but maybe something constructive, take it on board straight away. Don't get uppity about it, because at the end of the day, it was something that bothered them, and then you can just like take the time to just see, even if in the end it can just be resolved with it was the aircon wasn't on enough, or there was something. I'll always